In Chapter 3, the animals experience the first harvest since the rebellion, and their collective efforts prove highly successful. Despite the challenges posed by tools designed for humans, the animals adapt through cooperation and ingenuity under the pigs' guidance. The sense of shared purpose leads to high morale and unprecedented productivity, with Boxer emerging as a paragon of dedication, driven by his motto, "I will work harder." However, subtle divisions emerge. While most animals toil, some, like Molly and the cat, show signs of shirking, and the pigs adopt a supervisory role rather than participating in the physical labor. Sundays are marked by ceremonies including flag raising and meetings, where the pigs dominate decision-making, with Snowball and Napoleon often at odds. The chapter concludes with the revelation that the pigs have been consuming the milk and apples, a privilege they justify as essential for their leadership duties. Boxer embodies the working class, whose tireless labor is the foundation of any successful economy or revolution. His personal motto, "I will work harder," epitomizes the self-sacrifice and uncritical loyalty of the proletariat. Despite his strength and dedication, Boxer lacks the critical awareness to question authority, making him a tool for exploitation. Orwell uses Boxer to critique how revolutionary regimes often manipulate the working class, promising empowerment while exploiting their labor for the benefit of an elite minority. The pig's assumption of leadership reflects the emergence of an intellectual elite in revolutionary movements. Snowball and Napoleon symbolize rival factions within the Bolsheviks. Snowball aligns with Leon Trotsky, advocating for committees in education, while Napoleon parallels Joseph Stalin, focusing on consolidating power. The pig's appropriation of milk and apples underlines the hypocrisy of this elite, as they justify their privileges with the argument that their well-being is essential for the collective good. This mirrors the way leaders in revolutionary regimes often exploit the rhetoric of necessity to mask their self-interest. The flag, painted with a hoof and horn, evokes the Soviet hammer and sickle, representing the unity of workers and peasants. Snowball's explanation that the green fields symbolize the future republic of the animals reflects the utopian promises of communism. The weekly meetings symbolize democratic participation, but the reality is that only the pigs propose resolutions while the other animals merely vote. This illustrates Orwell's critique of the facade of democracy in totalitarian regimes where the ruling class manipulates and controls the process. Snowball's efforts to teach reading and writing reflect the Bolsheviks' initial emphasis on education and literacy. However, the limited success of these programs underscores how education is unevenly distributed, with the pigs maintaining a monopoly on knowledge. The reduction of the Seven Commandments to the simplistic maxim, "4 legs good, 2 legs bad," highlights the use of propaganda to control the less intelligent masses. The sheep's mindless repetition of this slogan symbolizes how authoritarian regimes rely on propaganda to stifle critical thinking and ensure conformity. Molly's reluctance to work and her fixation on personal comfort symbolize the bourgeoisie or petty bourgeoisie, who prioritize their own well-being over the collective good. The cat's opportunism, disappearing during labor and reappearing for meals, reflects those who exploit the system for personal gain while avoiding responsibility. Both characters illustrate Orwell's skepticism about the ability of revolutionary movements to create true unity, as individual self-interest often undermines collective ideals. Napoleon's decision to seclude and educate the puppies reflects Stalin's focus on cultivating a loyal power base through indoctrination. By isolating the young and controlling their upbringing, Napoleon ensures that the next generation will be obedient to his rule. This foreshadows the emergence of a police force or secret service, represented by the dogs, that will enforce his authority through fear and violence. The pig's consumption of milk and apples marks the beginning of the erosion of animalism's egalitarian principles. Squealer's justification, invoking science and the threat of Jones's return, demonstrates how totalitarian regimes use fear and pseudo-scientific rhetoric to justify privilege and suppress dissent. The other animal's acceptance of this argument illustrates how propaganda and fear can override logic and fairness, enabling the consolidation of power.